Otakuology podcast with Otaku Mike and Jin Graves.
Hey, how's it going? Mike here for the Otakuology podcast. Just want to let you guys know we had some audio issues for this podcast. We tried to fix them. It was an internet thing. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoy and see you on the next episode.
Hey guys, Jin back with another episode of the best podcast in the world, the Otakuology podcast.
It's the greatest podcast in the world.
In the world.
What's the podcast name?
Or as they would say it in Japan, Domo Arigato fucking Otakuology.
It's so fucking stupid.
I know, but it was great.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Can I put my beef in your taco?
No. That's weird.
I was in a movie and I laughed so hard about it.
What movie was that?
It was the Nutty Professor 2.
I don't know if I caught that. Can I put my beef in your taco? I'm not gonna live that one down. Can I put my beef in your taco?
I feel like that should just be a pickup line now. Like, hey, can I put my beef in your taco?
Can I put my hot dog in your buns? Sounds like one too. I'm done with you. We can't do this anymore. What the fuck? So,
okay. Anyway,
I'm trying to get my composure back.
Compose myself. Thanks a lot.
So, bagel bites.
I did eat some bagel bites, and they messed up my stomach today.
Yeah. You know the weird thing?
They weren't even like bagel bites. They were like store brand bagel bites.
You know the funny thing? It seems like almost every time before we podcast, you always have bagel bites or something that's pizza related.
Because it's easy to make.
Well, I'm still upset with you because you know why?
Why?
Do you know why? Because
No.
you still haven't tried this pizza Oreo thing.
I'll get to it eventually.
You gotta try the pizza Oreo so then you can try the pizza Oreo.
It just doesn't sound right.
Why not?
Anyways, what are we talking about today?
So today, we're talking about being adults. And
Adults?
And is it acceptable?
Some might say we're just man children disguised as adults.
Well, I only have one thing to say about that. Underneath my exterior of a man is a child, and underneath the exterior of that child is a wolf. And underneath the exterior of that wolf, there's a toad. And underneath the exterior of that toad, there's another man with a really nice beard, just waiting to get out.
Okay. That's
You're welcome.
I don't know how to explain that. I don't know. I can't comprehend that. I don't know what
you can put it underneath the one umbrella that always makes sense.
What's that?
It's just something you got to know.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
Or you can put it under the other umbrella that everybody loves, which you know what that is, right?
Umbrella Academy?
No. Aliens.
Not What? But why not Umbrella Academy? That's like one of the best umbrellas ever.
Because that's where people go to school at. I don't want to ruin their floors.
Oh, okay.
So,
No.
In today's topic,
adults who watch anime.
Mike is eating bagel bites.
I ate bagel bites.
If you go to our YouTube channel, you can sit there and watch Mike's 3-hour long video of him eating bagel bites and watching Umbrella Academy. if you would have been subscribed to our Patreon, you would have seen it first. So
We don't we don't have a Patreon.
well, we also don't have any of that other stuff for a 30-minute long video of you eating bagel bites. So
We could put it on our OnlyFans.
this is true. This
Any,
is true.
anyways, getting to the topic at hand.
Topic at hand.
Adults watching anime. Do you think that adults watching anime like is a weird thing in society?
Oh yeah, man, it's fucking disgusting. Why would adults put themselves through that? That's almost as bad as like people that like to talk about anime and manga and movies and everything else that make life enjoyable on a podcast called the Otakuology podcast.
So, like, no, like in all seriousness, like, do you think there is like a stigma or like a cutoff point to where like, oh hey, you can't watch anime anymore?
Um, in general, or due to society standards?
We'll say both. How about both? We'll go with both.
Personally, no. I think that you could be a 90-year-old woman at the nursing home and still be like, I just love this love story with Deku and Bakugo, and be like, Grandma, that's not what's going on. No, that is what's going on. Now society standards,
Yeah.
it probably shouldn't have never come over here. It's probably just something that was not supposed to be around, and is not supposed to actually exist.
Okay, you'd like cut out for a good like couple seconds, so I have no idea what you said.
I said that. Uh, did you hear the old lady part?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, I said if it was society standards, then we probably shouldn't have had anime come over here at all.
Yeah. Why so?
Uh, just because a lot of people find that the stigma around it um, is unacceptable, at least older generations.
Well,
Uh,
go ahead.
but I mean, newer generations are accepting it more because of us middle generations,
We had to
showing it
go
to them.
through the hardships of building the anime fandom, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we had to go through the manga depression.
The manga anime depression. But when
Yeah.
you think about it, like who was it who brought over anime over here? Like when they were fans, it was adult. They were like adult fans
Well,
who
well,
brought anime over
here's the
here.
other thing, though. Here's the other thing, though, is where did most of the comic books and everything else originate from?
Adults.
No, I mean, but where did it come from? It came from America,
Yeah.
and then influenced a bunch of the other people that read superheroes and other stuff, and said, "Hey, let me start something out," and they started, and then manga got going in Japan, and then from there it's come back across the ocean and everything for us to enjoy this more Japanese rendered telling of other stories and
Yeah. Um I forgot what I was going to say.
whatnot.
Uh but why so anime has always had like a stigma attached to it. And it's interesting to see it evolve, but it's still like in the background has a stigma against it, even with like anime fans. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh, you shouldn't watch that anime. Watch this anime over here. And like it's just interesting to see the parallels of like the fandom in itself of like the younger fans versus the older fans. and how like
Yeah.
we we interpret it or like even like consume it. Like, like I don't consume it a lot anymore, as much as I used to, like when I was in college, but like
Right.
it it I find when I always look at it, I take a step back and I look at the fandom and I'm like, huh, like, is this healthy? Like, do we need like an age cutoff of like, oh, you hit 40 and you're like cut off, like
Yeah.
you got to go do something else.
Um,
You can't watch anime anymore.
I don't know, and like I've watched Craig of the Creek with my little boy and
That's
whatnot.
not anime.
I know, but there's an episode that I think is a really good one to point out for this topic.
Uh huh.
It's called Kelsey the Elder,
Uh huh.
and it's these three older guys that actually play games and have stuff underneath a rock, like they play D&D, and they call them the elders because they've been there forever, but they
Mm-hmm.
use that as their hangout spot. And the two of the guys kind of get in a fight and they swap people. So the Kelsey, the little swordsman girl that's part of Craig's group, goes over and plays D&D and whatnot, and we see that. And then this other guy goes with the other two characters, Craig and JP. And while you're watching that part, he sits there and he's talking to them about something, and the first thing that comes up is they're sitting there making paper airplanes, and he says, "Do you remember SWAT cats?" And the thing is like, for other people, especially like younger kids that Craig of the Creek is for, they're not going to know what that is.
Yeah.
And so as you progress through this episode, it's really funny because you have SWAT cats. Hey, do you remember Ed and Eddie? Do you remember Dexter's Lab? What about uh Darkwater? um they bring up all these different old cartoons and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
and they're kind of like, no, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Do you think that that's a very much a parallel to nowadays?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. um because of that. Now, I do think that in some ways today is really like oversaturated.
Oh yeah, like totally. Like before, like we would maybe get like 5 to 10 anime over here.
Well, and I mean the big thing that you and I enjoy, isekais started out is on a slow roll. There wasn't like that much stuff to it.
Mm-hmm.
You enjoyed this, and then maybe there was another isekai came out that was, a little far off from it or whatever, and
It was
you watched and read that or whatever, and
well, I think now versus then is the fact that we kind of consumed everything
yeah,
because we didn't have a lot, so we just consumed whatever we could get our hands on. And now it's like you said before, it is oversaturated in this. Like people ask me, "Oh, are you keeping up with the current season?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is a current season?" And they're like, like winter, summer, fall, all that stuff. And I'm like, "What?" Like I'm trying to wrap my head like how can people keep up with so many different shows nowadays when it comes to like
right,
anime, you know?
right. Well, and the other thing that I'm confused on is how do people not get mixed up?
Oh fuck, totally. Totally. You know. Uh and like
Because there's
but
a
I
few that
also
I've read and I forgot.
uh like I also feel like we're in a different grouping when it comes to the fandom of anime fans is the fact that, a lot of these people are in college. They have more time than we do. most of the time. I mean, there's probably some grown-ups out there that are probably still living the college single life out there.
Oh,
And
so what Otaku Mike's saying is focus on your studies.
focus on your studies, not the anime. I mean, I didn't personally focus on my studies. Like, I was totally that guy who was like consuming anime like all the time.
Right.
I was even in charge of my own anime club at one point. I ran it for like several years.
That's funny. I did
You know
that too.
what?
I said I did that too.
You did?
Yeah, I ran my own anime club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like, I don't know. Like, it's it's interesting to see like how the times have changed. But I want to talk about like, what if you're older and you're just getting into anime? How do you? How would you do that?
If you're older, getting into anime, how
Yeah,
would
because we
you?
don't normally see that, you know. Like normally, you grow up with it, and it's very odd. It's almost you could almost say like it's a unicorn of sorts that most people who are when they're adults, like full-fledged adults, don't normally get into this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I think that's kind of one of the coolest things ever
Um,
seen, you know?
I would say that's true. Um,
You totally cut out again. So I didn't know what you said.
oh, I just stopped talking.
Oh.
Hold on.
So yeah, I think it's really interesting because the way society says that we should be is that we should give up all these childish things when it comes to anime, you know, cartoons, stuff like that, and we should be quote adults, you know. But I think it's so cool and fascinating when somebody who is older, like is an adult, and they get into anime, and it's like a whole new world for them. Like a whole new world has opened up, and it's like, you know, the gates open up, and like the light is so blinding bright, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I never been in this place before, you know. That's what I feel like it personally feels like, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh my god, you run away in horror, or you like embrace it, like all of it. In which I actually did meet somebody like that, a wonderful woman who just recently got into anime, and I was like, that is like the fucking coolest thing I've ever heard of, you know. And she was telling me all about the anime that she watched and stuff, and I was like, some of these I've never even watched before. You know, I was like, I have never heard of this one, this one, this one, or this one. And I was like, Mushoku Tensei. I love Mushoku Tensei. And she was like, of course you would love the panty sniffer anime. And I was like, whoa, hold on.
Oh my
Rudy
gosh.
has to protect his treasure. Okay. We all know how this ends, you know.
It's pretty
Rudy
bad
has
that
his
somebody knows you that well.
I guess so. I guess so. I don't know. But yeah, that was a very interesting conversation to say the
Do
least.
you
And then, you
do
know,
you give off do you give off panty sniffer vibes?
I guess so. I guess so. I guess I just give that vibe off that, you know, I like to sniff the underwear. You know?
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
yeah. But yeah,
Oh my goodness.
that kind of led me to this discussion of, you know, like when is it still socially acceptable to watch anime when you're an adult.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
she had said that she kind of got a little bit of backlash from some people. And I'm like, what? No way. Like, anybody can watch anime. Anime is for everybody. Like, anime doesn't have, like, well, unless you're a fucking gatekeeper, uh, anime doesn't have like these like roadblocks in front of you where you can't watch this or you can't
right.
watch this. You can watch whatever the fuck you want.
Well, you know what, buddy? I am glad you said that.
Okay.
Because, sometimes I feel like with modern day cartoons, you're totally the gatekeeping type.
How so? How so, sir?
Because you'll be like, over the garden wall. Ugh, yo, you can't watch that one. I'm never going to watch it.
Look, okay.
You're watching Gravity Falls? Blah.
Look, okay. I just like to bust my buddy's balls, okay? And make fun of him. It's a lovingly making fun of, but okay.
That's okay.
Over the Garden Wall
Well,
Over the Garden Wall isn't terrible. Okay, it was an enjoyable show. It was enjoyable.
Saw what you said last week.
It was enjoyable. Okay,
Dick.
sometimes it was just a little confusing.
I will agree with you. There are sometimes it's confusing.
And I never actually said that Gravity Falls sucked. Gravity Falls is actually okay.
What about Centaur's World?
Okay, I feel like I am coming off of an acid trip whenever I watch A Centaur's World. To say the least, sometimes, but there are parts of it.
That's okay. That's all right, Mike. Come on in. The water's fine.
There are parts of it that are okay, that I enjoyed, but also I didn't watch all of it, so I can't make judgment on it.
So what you're saying is, I need a lucky lady that's in your life to watch shows that I watch, so that you'll watch them.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, okay?
I have an answer for that.
I feel like we're going really off topic right now.
I have an answer for that. You ready?
Oh, God.
Checkmate.
Checkmate. I fucking hate you right now.
That's okay. She'll listen to it and she'll be like, all right, I got a list. Got a list of shows for us to watch. Jen sent it to me personally.
Anyways.
But
You got me totally off topic now.
But to bring it on home,
Okay.
it is acceptable for you to watch these, Mike.
What?
It is acceptable for you to watch these cartoons and stuff. Okay.
Okay. I feel like this has been totally turned around on me. Personally. I feel like I'm being attacked and a little bit judged at the moment.
That's okay. There's a show for that. It's called
What?
Infinity Train.
What?
It's called Infinity Train.
What's that one?
That's the one where they go through like the door to like a time portal, and then they end up in the different worlds that are on the train. So you got to like make it through the thing to the next train.
I don't know what that is.
You'll have to look it up, Buttercup. And then you can have a great adventure time.
I hate Adventure Time.
Just make sure that you don't get too caught up, and then you'll have a Gravity Falls.
I hate Adventure Time. Okay? I can't get into it. The artwork does not do it for me. It just looks too weird. Now, I'm saying that, but I'm the guy who watches anime. So,
Right, you're the guy that watches Crown Shin-chan.
you stay away from Crown Shin-chan. Do not. Crown Shin-chan is a good boy. Okay?
Now
He's
I get
boy.
Now I'm getting some creeper vibes.
He's a good boy. who just likes to take off his pants and shake his butt.
Action bastard. I'm still gonna say that's the best superhero ever.
I have to agree. Totally.
What if Lupin the Third was Action Bastard?
Oh, that would be terrible.
That would be hilarious.
Totally.
But it's socially acceptable to like those things.
Is it only socially acceptable in the world of being an anime fan? Or are you saying it's socially acceptable everywhere?
Everywhere.
But it's not.
But it is.
But it's not, because I mean, do you remember back in the day, like anime would get attacked? I mean, no, anime is more like mainstream nowadays, but like it used to get attacked back in the 80s, like, like
Yeah. Astro Boy, what kind of shit is that?
and like, because we had all the violent OVAs and stuff like that, and like Violence Jack and all that kind of stuff. And like, I think anime kind of still carries that stigma of, it being violent, but also I feel like there's a lot of people out there who don't understand it or don't want to understand it and just write it off as like,
I agree.
this is just stupid. It's just stupid. And it's not for me. It's not my I don't know. It's not what I grew up with, type of thing. Um,
Right.
But yeah.
No, I agree.
And it's kind of like you can't change people's minds on it, or the way they think about it. Like once they're kind of stuck on like the way they think, they can't be changed, and you kind of like just got to move on and basically like just live your life. If you want to watch anime, because it one day it might be socially acceptable. I haven't had that day yet, but I mean it's really popular at the moment again.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, in that note, I feel like it's better to go with other things. Does that make sense? So for instance, like D&D, right?
Yeah.
If you start naming off people, you name off like Vin Diesel and some of the other actors and people that other people know of,
Mm-hmm.
and you go, hey, these individuals play D&D. I think you break down part of those walls because they're like, what? No, that can't be true.
Jamie Lee Curtis loves One Piece.
See, look, so you have these things that are like that, and you put them out there in the world, and now people are quote unquote woke.
Oh, can we be the woke anime podcast?
Yes.
I'm so awake right now.
What are you doing? We're getting woke in.
I'm so awoken.
Right. Woken. Awoken Hoboken.
No, yeah, and you just once what I mean, well, some people say anime is socially acceptable now, but it's slowly getting there. It's taking its time, and if anybody out there is like, hey, you shouldn't watch this, you know what you tell them? You tell them to go fuck off. And or in a polite way. I don't know. That's not a very polite way.
You
But
tell
you're
them
like,
I don't go like a bird.
you're like, I don't know you. That's my purse. Or I don't know. Something like that,
Right.
But yeah.
Or you give them a little slap on the face and you run off and go, Leroy Jenkins.
I guess you could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have any closing arguments?
Closing arguments?
Or closing insights into this?
I have opening arguments.
Okay, go ahead.
So
you're always a good closer on this.
Where were you on the night of the 15th?
I shot JFK.
All right, in a podcast. We can't do this anymore. Can't believe you. I really like JFK, and now I find out you're the one that killed him. My heart's
I
broken.
mean, I had to, so a time paradox wouldn't happen. So, like, he had to die.
Oh.
If he would have died, the world would, well, wouldn't have died. The world would have been horrible.
Did you also make out with Nixon?
I did.
I'm
Not gonna lie, he's not a good kisser. And his nose got into places that should not have been.
Oh, is that how he became a brown noser?
Yeah.
What? What? Ew. Uh, so nasty. I don't know what to say.
Just saying, it's like having a small penis in your butthole.
I was not prepared for that one. Not prepared. But another thing I want to bring up
Okay.
is the acceptance of like comic books compared to manga,
Mm-hmm.
and how different that is, especially that people do see kind of manga more as little kids, when some of the stories and whatnot with that are even worse than most like American comics,
Well,
depending on what
when you think about it, like manga doesn't have like that age discrimination like that anime does.
right.
Anyway, sorry, continue with what you were saying.
But just the whole thing with that, like I don't really get part of that.
Yeah. Do you think we don't get it because we're so entrenched in it? Like
Maybe.
like we can't see the other side of what's going on, or what people see us as.
I don't know. I would argue that in a different way.
Uh-huh.
So, from like the Inside Out movie, where they have the big hole that you throw all the old memories and stuff in and whatnot.
Where Bing Bong is?
Yeah. Or a gully or a valley or anything else like that. I really think that the argument would be like, how are you going to get across this point A to point B? And other people, the normies or muggles or whatever, see it as you have to have like these contingency tools and everything else to be able to
Mm-hmm.
do that, to get across or whatever. This from like true crime or documentaries, podcasts, whatever, books, other things that are socially acceptable. But the other thing is most of the stuff that's already socially acceptable are actually everything else that we already have incorporated into us. I love a
Yeah.
good crime doc, which also made me want to read Case Closed.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like you have these people that are like, hey, I got to figure out a way to make a rope bridge or something, or push a tree over to get across this thing, and all of us are just kind of sitting there like, well, here's my board games, here's my manga, here's my anime, here's everything else I know, action figures or whatever, and we fill up enough to make our own bridge in a different way. But it's because I think we see the world in a more fuller vision. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess so. Like you're saying, we live outside the box while the normies live inside the box.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
No, yeah, I could totally get behind that, And, I remember being like, we've kind of covered this before, I remember growing up and like not sharing my hobbies with people,
Yeah.
and not like just keeping it to myself, which sometimes I do kind of still do a little bit, you could say I'm kind of in fear of being persecuted
Yeah.
in the outside world to a little bit, I have to be really comfortable with you in order to share my love of like anime and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like if it comes up in conversation, like I have no problem like talking to you about it. Just be prepared. I might know a lot of random stuff about anime.
Did you know in 1943 that the Lupin the third came out, and it was related to this, which spawned the show Supernatural? I could see you doing that shit to somebody.
But yeah, like I don't think people should be pushed away from it. I think we need to be bringing more people in, regardless of what their age is, because you never know with people. You never know like what might strike their interest and be like, oh, that is like fucking cool. Now there is some weird shit out there. I will tell you that much. But sometimes the weird shit is good.
Right. Well, and to play off and piggyback off of you, I would say too, especially on the gatekeeper front, don't try and push everybody into everything.
Yeah.
You can't be like, well, you're not a real fan or you're a fake fan because you haven't watched every anime that's out there or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Based off of that, how many people have we heard stories from that it was, oh, because you haven't seen Dragon Ball Z and Naruto?
Can I just say?
Sure.
You know how like they're like, oh, pumpkin spice is like for like basic white bitches. Naruto and Dragon Ball are like the basic white bitch of anime. I'm just gonna put that out there right now.
What,
I'm gonna say it.
what's the basic one, bitch?
Dragon Ball and Naruto. Because that's what everybody goes to. That's what everybody goes to.
This
Dragon
is true.
Dragon Ball and Naruto are the basic white bitches of anime. Just saying.
Right. Well, I mean, Bleach and One Piece.
But One Piece is actually kind of entertaining. So I can't put them in that same category.
Hey, buddy, they're all entertaining.
Okay, whatever.
I'm just saying that's basic white bitch shit right there.
You could say that's the normie anime, or the
That's true.
the anime
Fairytale.
The anime starter pack.
Yes. And we're gonna throw a couple bottles of ramune in there, and here's some prawn flavored chips.
Oh, don't forget your Pocky.
Yeah, here's some green tea Pocky
and your melon bread.
Melon. Oh, would that be good still?
Melon bread?
Yeah,
I think so.
Here you go. Here's your anime manga starter pack.
Yeah. We just hand it out to people. Here you go. This is what you need.
Right.
Then we're like, okay, now let's move you into the real stuff.
We're moving you into the advanced course.
All right, it's time to watch Cowboy Bebop. We gotta watch Bible Black,
Inuyasha, Trigun,
Full Metal Alchemist,
Gurren
Lagann, and then we get you to the advanced stage, which we're just gonna throw all of Gundam at you.
Oh God!
Like, if you can hang with the Gundams, you're like gold. Okay.
Gundam and isekais.
You've like surpassed. You've become the master.
Oh God! And if you
you got to get through the isekais because the isekais are a big thing. So you got to get through those.
If you can keep up with the timelines.
Yeah, totally.
Jesus.
I feel like that's a good way to start.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And then there's the exclusive Black Box.
Oh, the Black Box.
That has Bible Black in it. Interspecies reviewers.
Are we gonna put Monster Musume in there?
No, that can be in the advanced box.
Okay.
We're gonna put what's that weird one that everybody kept asking you to review?
Boku no Pico.
Yeah, we're gonna put episode 1 of Boku no Pico in there. The black box.
No, Boku no Pico is too problematic. We can't.
And
We can't put that in there.
yeah, it's the black box. We'll put it in there.
Okay, fine,
it's
whatever,
triple X.
whatever.
It's triple X rated.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put like a few volumes of Berserk in there and of Goblin Slayer.
Oh, so you just want to go all hardcore?
Yeah, we got. If you wanted to play it all safe, you'd have to stay in advanced and everything else that's common. If you're going to the X-rated box, I mean, this is raw. The protection is off, so I mean that's what's happening here.
Should we do it like a subscription service? Like you buy the first box and then you have to keep going.
Yeah, there you go.
You finally got to this.
There'll be a test. You take a test online to know if you can graduate up to the next box or not.
What the fuck did I just watch?
Can I graduate up to the next box or not?
Like,
although that does make it really funny though, because what if we had branding to make Otakuology condoms?
patent pending. Just saying right there. Trademarked Otakuology condoms.
Otakuology 6 pills.
Anyways, you want to wrap this up?
Well, if we have the black box, then obviously not.
Because you got to remember, you got to wrap it before you tap it.
I don't know. It depends on if we're going full raw. We might have to put the condoms in the advanced box.
Yeah.
This is the last box before you get off the train, and then
we give them a little bottle of Otakuology lube in the black box too.
Yeah, and then in the black box comes with a little pamphlet on how to do the pizza Oreo.
No. No.
Yeah, a little instruction booklet. This is how you do the pizza
or the
Oreo.
half hole.
Oh god. Is that going to be a sticker that you put on with your face on the car?
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to make a new sticker, I guess.
Half hole. Everybody will walk by and be like, what does that even mean?
It's a sex thing. Don't worry about it.
You got to go tune into episode 26 to know the original origin story of the half hole.
Do you? Is that the episode?
The original origin story?
I don't remember now.
Huh?
Was that the episode?
No, I don't know. I just
26.
I don't know. I just threw a random one out of my ass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
anyways,
I can't tell you. I can't tell you when it actually popped up.
Anyways, thanks for listening. I hope this was very entertaining. And yeah, so we'll go from there, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.